Okay, let's get going with chapter 6. My name is Patricia Holmes and I am your Adobe Animate instructor. And let's get going with building this. So make sure you are on your start file, chapter 6 working. We renamed it from the start to working to preserve the start file. And what the author is asking us to do in this particular chapter is to enlarge the camera to about 260 degrees. You can use this or you can come right on over here, as I had previously talked about, and put in a zoom of 260. Type that in, but the author wants us to have the camera aligned with roughly the center here. So the property numbers we have been provided, our x will be negative 309, so put that in the x, and in the y it's going to be a positive 221, and hit enter. And so that's the perspective we're going to start out with. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to select frame 24, which is 1 second, 24 of the camera layer. And so as I build this, if I'm off 1 or 2 frames, it's okay. I think you understand that I'm trying to be as expedient as I can doing this video. So anyway, we're going to select frame 24, and we're going to add a keyframe, F6, or you can go insert timeline keyframe. And we're going to keep the camera in its zoomed in position from frame 1 to 24. And then we are going to select the keyframe, create it in 24, and we're going to add a motion tween to that. So first of all, we're going to start out though by, I'm sorry, I want to make sure that I didn't miss a step in the book. We're going to select, yeah, I did. We're going to select frame 24, and we are going to choose motion tween in the above timeline. You can do it in timeline, or you can just, do what I've been showing you this whole time, which is right click and create motion tween. So we're going to go back and forth between motion tween and classic, but per the author's instructions, we're going to create a motion tween. And then we're going to go over here to frame 72, approximately frame 72, and move the playhead. Make sure the playhead is right on 72, which it is. And then we're going to drag the camera zoom slider to the left to zoom out, or we can simply change. I'm going to click onto the camera. We're going to change this to 170. So you can slide it, use the slider, or you can just change it to 170. And so we're going to move the camera so our satellite called Juno is roughly in the center, and that's going to require us to put an X value of 20. And again, you can do this manually. I'm just trying to speed things up. And Y of 90. There we go. And then a keyframe is automatically created here in frame 72 because we made a motion. We did some changes on the stage. Then we're going to simply scrub the timeline really quick. We're going to see what we just did. Okay, good. And next we're going to animate a pan perspective. So we're going to move the playhead on the camera timeline to 160. Here we go, 160, roughly. Okay, 160. And at this point in time, we're going to create another keyframe that's going to establish a position for us. And we're going to move the camera on the stage to the right, or I'm just going to give you the XY values. So first thing we want to do is we want to go into the property panel. By clicking this, then we go into the property panel, and we are going to change the X position to a negative 250. Well, negative 250. And okay, I'm going to keep going on. And the spacecraft will roughly be in the center. That's what our goal here is, to be roughly in the center. So you can move this too with your mouse. And then you'll see a new keyframe was automatically added here. on 160. And then we are next going to right click on 160 and we are going to choose a command. Excuse me, I just dropped something. We're going to right click and we're going to choose a command called insert keyframe all. And this is a type of command that we'll use in a little bit. I'm going to just say choose, go right click, insert keyframe and choose all. And we're going to move the playhead now to in the timeline to frame 190. So grab the playhead, move it to 190. Okay, and then at this point, Juno is at its closest position to Earth. And we want to zoom and we want to move the camera on the stage so that Earth and Juno are close up and nearly centered. So the zoom value is going to be pretty big. So we're going to come over here and we're going to type in 760. We're going to hit enter, but we want to make sure we position it the way we are being asked to per the author. So that will go into the X value, type in a negative 1309, and then on the X value it's going to be 767 positive, and press enter. Then we're going to see the satellite kind of behind planet Earth. Good. And what we're doing here, as you can see, is as we go down the timeline of animation, we're making changes, thus animating. Well, the software is actually doing the animating. We're just making little pit stop changes. Okay, so we're still at 190, and we're going to move the playhead to the start and test it out. And from 160 to 190, the camera does a zoom in, and that's the whole point of what we just did here. Pretty cool. Okay, so we're zooming in, we're building this. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate this camera perspective, but I'm going to save that for the next video. Okay, thanks for listening. Please click on to the next tutorial.